how Flipkart scrolls at 60 FPS. First things first, this is short talk, so I'm going to be rushing through quite a few things. Please feel free to catch me post the talk. We'll discuss anything and everything that you have in your head. Also, anything that I do on the stage, like if I fall or if I stammer, that's planned, right? So, yeah. How does Flipkart scroll at 60 FPS? This is how. We have an incredible team of people. They just do magic, and I get to talk about it. All right. So the problem, I'm pretty sure almost everybody would have found this issue in their app when they're building a scrollable list of objects. At some point in time, they have this janky scroll viewer, which has, if you have a lot of widgets and all in your app, sometimes it happens that your scroll viewer suffers from these janks. So we had two very distinct problems, and one of them was our homepage load time was high. The second was homepage scroll was very janky. Let's look at the first problem. It was a combination of multiple controllers and data providers, managers trying to update the view. It was creating a mess. There could have been a very simple solution to this. We could have reduced the number of widgets. We said that we would only load like 4 widgets, and or we could have put in some animations somewhere that tried to mimic us not performing, us performing well while we were not. Right. All of these are actually very valid ways of mitigating the problem. They're not the solutions, right? So we, and actually let's take one problem at a time. So homepage load time was high. What did we do about it? We went back to our drawing board and we tried to come up with better ways of dealing with this problem of having multiple providers trying to change the views and all of that. And what we came up with was we switched from an unoptimized store or data layer to an MVC, a Flux kind of a pattern. It's not purely Flux. And the second thing that we did was we switched from core data to Realm. Now Realm in our experiments came out, at least the fetch calls came out at least 3x faster, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys, so Flux in our context is pretty much the same. We have a view controller which has a lot of widgets. We have an action, these fires actions, usually click, go to a dispatcher. Homepage store is the place where all of this gets processed, and then there's a notification. So Realm has this notifications at an object layer which helps you identify what exactly got changed and then pull in that data and just render that piece, right? So you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know the benefits of Flux and Realm. What it actually did for us was it actually helped us manage our homepage. The chaos that it was became easier to manage, and that in turn led to an easier way for us to be able to defer things which were not non-critical, right? So we were able to separate out things which were very, very crucial for us because it was very, very clear. It was very manageable. We were able to separate out things which were not essential for us to load the home page, which is the landing page for us, and defer them, right? So once we've loaded the home page is when we actually start doing this all non-essential things for the home page. They are obviously essential for other things, but not important for home page. So we did that, and it somehow helped us, not somehow, we actually had to work a little for that, but it helped us reduce our homepage load times significantly. Okay, so the next problem that we had at our hand was homepage scrolling was janky, and mostly it was because we had very complex, and in many cases nested hierarchies of layout, right? We also had insane kind of things like tracking on main thread. I'm not sure if most of the people have this kind of problem, but we do a lot of tracking, and a lot of it is about understanding when is my widget actually getting into the viewport, and how much of it is being rendered, and things like that, right? And we're doing a lot of it on main thread. We were doing swizzling and whatnot to figure it out. So all of that junk we moved out, right? And we started to figure out how do I reduce the nesting of hierarchies, or I mean, how do I simplify my UI, right? And we took 3 attempts to get this right. The first attempt was auto layouts. We tried to simplify our layout. We tried to reduce the number of constraints that we had, but it still didn't work out for us, right? We still had performance issues, mostly because our constraints were, the breakages of constraints, and it gets resolved at the runtime, so there were issues with that. It was taking more time to render things on main thread, and 60 FPS was not what we were getting. Okay, so the next attempt is we tried layout kit. Now it's LinkedIn's library. It's very similar to the third attempt that I'm going to talk about, which is async display kit, which is now renamed to texture. It's very like that. It's written in Swift 3. Android-like way of writing UI, if people know about how we write UI in Android. Very good performance, actually. If you look at the graph, I'm not sure if it's clear enough, but the top one is UI stack view. The next one, the yellow one is auto layout. The third one, the green one, is layout kit, which is way, way below, right? So it was giving us very good performance, but we were still suffering from those few couple, like approximately 10 frame drops per second. So then we moved on to async display kit, right? And this is Facebook's. Facebook initially came up with this library, async display kit. It's compatible with 3.0. You can actually read about async display kit. This talk is too short to talk about async display kit. But this is where the actual magic happened for us, right? It started scrolling at 60 FPS. And I can talk about this post the session where how it actually helped us schedule rendering on the background thread. ASDK actually does that for you. And that was where the magic happened for us. So I have a video demo of how it looked like with the original implementation, and how does it look like with the async display kit. Okay. Yes, I am hooked up here. So I'll probably try and play it in. Okay, I'll try and play it in VLC. Let's see. So just give me a couple more minutes. So that's with auto layouts. As you can see, frame drops, approximately 100 frame drops. This is with layout kit. It's actually much better, but approximately 10 frame drops per second. Wicked smooth. So this is the side-by-side comparison of, so the left one is our old app with core data and UI kit. This is Realm plus async display kit. You can see the difference. there's more to it. Actually, the pages also load a lot faster with Realm. We do a lot of caching. I'm just going to stop it right now and get back to the slides. Okay, so there's a bunch of developer benefits. It's easier to write the new widgets. There are customer benefits. We get cached versions of the page, which are served instantly with Realm. Widgets which are expired, they render very smoothly with Singh Display Kit. You just have to manage states, and the transition happens automatically. But here's the real deal, right? Business benefits. You would not believe just improving performance of the app actually gave us an improvement in transactions per visit, units per visit, and revenue per visit. And these are not insignificant numbers. If you're aware of how much, this means, it's incredible. All right. And by the way, our crash-free sessions for the refactored app went from 99.4 to 99.8. But not all is well. Why? We depend on, obviously, third-party libraries for them to fix issues in their SDKs, and hence that affects our app. The things that auto layouts handles automatically, like when you're on hotspot or calls and all, and these are things that you'd have to put in effort to get right. Realm asks you to write your models in a very, very specific way, right? You have to have your variables marked as dynamic, and you have to inherit your models from their object. And unlike auto layouts, you don't have a very, very easy designer to go ahead and create your UI. So these are the kind of problems that we have. It's what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve 60 FPS with a little bit of an extra developer pain point, if I may say, I think it worked out for us. Probably will work out for you as well. Right. Thank you so much.